Bam, 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 bam. Hello, guys. Welcome.
What's going on?
Tuesday, and we're live. Man, I should have been as smart as you, bro. Put my Airbnb in the back. Guys, welcome. This is Tuesday. We're live. Today, if we never met before, guys, welcome to this YouTube channel. My name is Mamadou Diallo. Please make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We go live every single Tuesday at 12 p.m. EST. Yes, we did move the time because Monday is so busy, and Tuesday is just a little bit more convenient. And then we do it early, get it out of the way because we have a lot of other stuff going on. So, but guys, this year we have a lot of great things coming for you as far as the short-term rental business is concerned. Show you how to get your first, second, third, and fourth deal with no money whatsoever, no experience whatsoever. Trust me, so you don't want to miss it. So make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. My guy Hung Man, welcome to the house, bro. Introduce yourself, my guy.
What's going on, everyone? My name is Hung Mai, and I am currently residing in Orlando, Florida. I specialize really just in short-term rental space, Airbnb, and right now we have about 15 properties under management, and about 3 or 4 more that's on the way. So super exciting.
Damn. That's what I'm talking about, bro. 15 under management, and you said 3 or 4?
Yeah, 3 or 4 more in the pipeline. I'm actually, after this, I'm going to check out 2 more in Orlando.
Nice. So it keeps growing. So how many do you think you're going to end up with this year under management?
Simple number, we're trying to aim for 50 this year. And that's if we don't venture into any multifamily deals or anything like that, which I think this will probably be the year where we venture into multifamily. So, that might be on the horizon as well. So going into that, we'll probably have, a good portion would be conventional, but who knows if the market can take it, and the comps look good. We're not against, turning it to a boutique hotel of the sort.
All right. That's dope, man, guys. So if you don't know, multifamily also, guys, could be great for short-term rentals. You could actually buy it and turn certain units into multifamily, into Airbnb or short-term rental in general, or literally the whole thing, and they call that boutique hotels. That's a whole nother play. So this year, one of the goals is obviously get into one of those in a great market, preferably, whether it be cash or creative, because those deals, even cash, if it makes sense to go get the loan, it absolutely is a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
So guys, with that being said, on this episode, what we really wanted to talk about today is to show you how you can get your first short-term rental by leveraging family and friends. I promise you, like, you want to try this, because oftentimes we try to look like for opportunities that are in front of us, and we go too far to try to look for it, but it's already right there. The problem is we're not looking for it. That's why we don't find it. We're not asking. That's why we're not, what is the saying, Hong?
If you don't ask, then what is it? If you don't ask, then you don't get, or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
whomever asks gets, or something. is a biblical quote. I know that
Oh, seek and you shall receive.
Seek, there you go. Seek and ye shall find. That's exactly it, right? So, guys, again, if you're new into this channel, welcome to the channel. My name is Mamadou Diallo, and we're here hanging out with my guy, Hung Mai. Mai, right? Hung Mai.
Hey.
There you go. Boom. Now I got it. So today, guys, if it's your first if you would love to get into short-term rentals, you just don't know how, or you haven't done a deal yet, or you were very close, but for some reason it fell through, or you feel like, like, why should I even get into it? Like, why is it better than rentals? Please put it in the chat if you're brand new. So we're gonna go over how, guys, you can leverage friends and family, get your first short-term rental with absolutely no money and no credit. What you do need to do, though, is to open your mouth and talk to people and be resourceful. That's it. Everybody can do that. Now, I'm an introvert. I'm not saying I'm an introvert, but like people that use being introvert as an excuse, I'm telling you, that's stopping you from like, you don't make nothing happen by being an introvert. Everybody have that extrovert person in them. We're all introverts. Like, if you probably catch me in a crowd where I don't know a lot of people, I don't just come in there and start like yelling. I'm very shy, right? But like, as far as what I want in life, I'm loud about it. So talking to people will get you things that you want, the resources that you need, and the referrals that you need with no money. The problem is, you're not talking to anybody. Nobody knows who you are. When people go on your social media, all they see is makeup. They see cats and dogs, your face, right? Like, nobody cares about it. If I go on your social media and I don't know who you are, what should I reach out to you for? That's a loss of opportunity. Same thing for people around you. Like, they're following you. They have to know what you're doing. They have to know what you're venturing into, what you're becoming an expert at, so that when they need those services, guess who to reach out to? You. And that's the story we're going to tell you today. Um, on how, I'll let Hongmei get into it first, and you guys will see, honestly, how you can get your first. It's crazy. It's sometimes these things you don't even think about, like, geez, I haven't even thought about this, right? So, guys, let's get into it, Mr. Hong. So what is that? Let's say somebody started today and they want to get into this short-term rental. They've been hearing about it for such a long time, never done it, no experience, no money. And what is that first step they should take to leverage family and friends?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. When I first got started, how I first got started was that I was, managing my family's, rental properties. I know, like, that's not everyone's situation, right? My parents, if you're Asian, you kind of know, like, they only know how to work. Like, they know how to work and save, and then once they get a good amount, they're like, let's go buy a house, or whatever the case may be, right? They really don't spend it a lot on themselves. When we go back home, like, for instance, go back to Vietnam for, family vacation, they never go together. It's either like one parent or, the other, right? So it's like, that was the situation. Like, they're always working. So, long story short, you really just have to be, open to opportunities, right? And this concept of, going to family and friends first, I actually got it through, when I first got started into entrepreneurship. It was when I was in, multi-level marketing, right? That was how I got started in entrepreneurship, was because, I there was a product that a friend of mine from Georgia had hit me up about, and, just like everyone else, I wasn't on a Zoom call, I was on a Skype call, right? Like, when Skype was still cool. I was on a Skype call, and someone shared their story, and what that opportunity looked like. Then through that, was how it got started. And the one thing that they teach you when you first get started, to kind of give you your first, like, small wins, because that's how you retain people, right? Was when it's to get them their first win as quick as possible. Was they'll tell you to go through family and friends. Why? Because family and friends, even if they don't want to do business with you, they still want to see you do, they want to see you succeed, and at least they like and trust you if you haven't, already broken that bridge, right? So as long as you haven't broken that bridge, it's a great opportunity to go through what you call your warm market. And the reason why it's called your warm market is because they already know you from, the 15, 16, 20 years that you've been in existence, right? And they know who you are, they know where you live. So it's a lot easier to convince them to, rent out a property for, whether if it's a, rental arbitrage situation, it's easier for them to do that. And it's honestly a little bit easier for you to negotiate, deposits or last month's rent and any of that sort of stuff. So I think that's really, one thing that I would do is I would recommend people to go and talk to their family and friends and say, hey, like me and a partner. And also that's also the other thing too, is that you're going to come across this self-believing doubt that you don't have the experience, which is true, right? You don't have the experience. And then you're going to also come across something else that I did as well, which is, I don't have the money. I didn't have the money either. When I started, I had $2,000 in my account, and maybe, I think about like 10, 15 grand in credit card limit, right? So I was super hesitant on doing something like this. But it was through kind of like trial and error. And the really important thing is that I had a friend who had already done this. And I really thought that he was an expert, right? Because he told me he has, Airbnbs. Well, it turned out it wasn't Airbnbs, it was Airbnb without the S, right? He only had one before me, but in my eyes, he was an expert. Like he knew how to do everything. He knew.
But if you think about it, Hung, he did, because he was one chapter ahead of you.
Exactly.
So in a sense, he was an expert because he was one chapter ahead of you.
He was an expert to me. He was an expert to me. Yeah. So in retrospect, I believed in him, and because I believed in him, my parents believed in me. Right. To kind of go and do this, and they didn't question it because I didn't question him. So I think that's really one of the most important thing is that is to believe in yourself. Like I think that's the biggest thing. And for me, I've always believed in myself. Even when I wasn't making money, I always knew I was going to do something amazing, and I always knew that opportunity was going to come my way. I just had to be on the lookout for it. And so if you're listening to this today, like this is that call, if this industry ever have made you curious. And I think that's one of the most important traits too, is curiosity. Always be willing to learn, always be willing to try new things. If you haven't kind of hit your stride yet, right? But that's one of the things is that leveraging someone experience, someone's credit or money, right? OPM, other people's money, and then leveraging other people's property.
Right.
And those three things was what I did to kind of first get started. And I, on it, in all honesty, that's how I did it. And I asked myself this one question too when I first got started, was that and it's all about the question you ask yourself, because you're like a computer. Whatever question you ask yourself, you're gonna come up with an answer, right? Like you ask yourself, like, why am I so fat? Well, because you're a pig and you keep eating everything in sight.
Yeah.
Right. Or like, why am I so tired? And then you come up with an answer, right? So I always knew that asking good questions would have good results, and even better results if you have better questions. So one of that thing was that I asked myself, what's the easiest way to get to 10 properties as quickly as possible? And that was it for me. I said, the quickest and easiest way, like that was the least resistant, was going through family and friends. Like people that have properties. It's not like they're calling you and telling you every single time that they bought a property, right? But you've already built that trust and that credibility with them for the last, decade to 2 decades. So they're more likely to trust it onto you than onto a random person, which is vice versa. If you were to go and, cold call a random landlord or a random, homeowner, why do you call it cold call? Because it's cold. It's the first time you've talked to them, right?
Yeah.
That's why they're called cold calling, right?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and this is why you call it your warm circle of influence. Like, this is your circle of influence because you have influence over these people for the last decade to 2 decades. So
100%.
it's going to be a lot easier. So one thing that I was just saying was that these 2 properties that I'm about to go look after this is actually from my aunt.
Right.
Because she's been seeing what I've been doing. She knows my whole story. She knows that I've worked for my family for the last, decade. From when I first got started to what I'm doing now, she's seen the whole journey. And now she's seeing that I'm actually taking this thing seriously. It's been almost 2 years now, and she's like, hey, he's still doing that thing he told me about 2 years ago, So I guess it's working. And she sees that I'm not working at my family's business anymore. Like, that's more than me trying to convince her. So out of the blue, 2 days ago, she called me and she's like, hey, I have 2 properties that the lease are coming up. Do you want to take a look at it? And I know exactly which 2 houses it is because both of these 2 houses, she had lived in them. And so she's only lived in properties that have pools, which is like, music to my ears. And then also she has another one, but, again, it's one of those things. She's like, yeah, I have, 3 or 4 that's coming up. I'm like, 3 or 4? I was like, she's like, yeah, I've been busy. So, even my own aunt, this is my favorite aunt. I'm super close to her, but it's not like every time she buys a house, she hits me up like, hey, I just bought a house, congratulate me. Right. So that's the thing is that, even though your family members or your friends are not, saying anything, they're always watching. And this is that perfect example of like, she just hit me up 2 days ago and said, hey, I have a couple properties coming up. Do you want to rent it out?
Yeah. I mean, this comes down to, so anything you want to do, guys, if you just go off of what you have in your bank account, you will never do anything. So if you just think, oh, I don't have the money, so I have like $1,000 in my bank account, why would how could I go buy a property when I only have 1K? That's the wrong way to, if you ask yourself the question that way, you will never take action on anything because you're looking at things based on what you have in your bank account that you cannot afford. Instead of asking you this question, how can I go buy a house by leveraging either somebody else's money, like Hung says, somebody else's property, somebody else's credit? Guys, like, that's how people are buying properties with no money. Every time you hear somebody says OPM, it means other people's money. But there's people also buying properties. We have currently properties that we bought leveraging people's credit, meaning somebody came with their credit that they worked for. They're not using for anything. There's a lot of people with good credit and they're not using it for anything at all. So they leverage their credit, they go qualify for a loan, and we buy the property using their credit, right? So you can leverage that. Now, here's the thing. Everything in life is either you are branding yourself, marketing yourself, or somebody else is branding themselves and marketing themselves to you, right? So if you want to leverage your family have to know you as an expert in something in order for them to come to you for that something. Now, where people get stuck is they think they have to be the expert. That's where guys, building a network is so important. People that know things and do things that you may not have those skills. So let's say, for example, one of your friends is really good at managing Airbnbs. Let's say Hung is your friend or I'm your friend, whatever, right? You go to your family and you talk to your family members or your cousin or your cousin's cousin. The thing is, like, guys, don't look at family as it has to be direct. It doesn't have to be your mom, your dad. It can be your mom or your mom's friend, because your mom can refer you to a friend of hers that she's working with. Same thing with every other family. So the reason you're talking to these people is not just to get it from them. They could just be people that refer you to other people. So you go to your mom or your cousin or your uncle, whatever, and you go, hey, do you know anybody or do you have rentals? Because I just started this business with my partner. Who's your partner? Your partner is your friend that is an expert at managing Airbnbs. Hey, we just started this business and we're managing Airbnbs for people, so we can rent the property from you, right? So you don't have to deal with tenants anymore. Like we fix all of that. When something happens, we fix it. You don't need to deal. Guys, there is people out here with rentals like they hate their life. They hate their life every single day because they have a tenant. So you can solve that problem, but now you don't have to be the one with the expertise. You're leveraging your friend's expertise until you learn that expertise yourself. So let's say hypothetically you bring in a friend of yours. Hey, this is my business partner. We're doing this. Do you know anybody that have a rental? We could rent it from you and then we'll do this. There's people that do that with Turo. I know I have friends that go on to the neighbors' doors and knock on the door. Like they always know that neighbor that never drives their nice car is always on the parking lot. And they go, hey, how would you like to make some passive income with your car? I see it here all the time. Would you like making $1,500 a month with your car? Are you kidding me? Of course, I have a freaking bill I'm paying every single month on this car. Okay, great. Let me lease it from you. And what they do is they take that car and put it on Turo. It's the same thing you're doing. You're just talking to people. What is talking to people? Talking to people, guys, is branding and marketing yourself. You are branding and marketing yourself. Now you are known as the expert in that field, but you don't have to be the expert. You can have a friend that is the expert. You bring them in. You guys split the pie so you can learn hands-on. The problem is where you get stuck is you're only looking at your bank account, what you have, and you're looking at your own skills that you have instead of thinking leverage. How can I leverage people around me? Other people, how can I build my network with people that have skills that I'm lacking? Guys, I will never sit down and manage an Airbnb. But I will leverage expertise from Airbnb managers because that's not my thing. But I know how to go hunt and find the deals. I can close a seller. I can go raise the private capital. I have that network, but I don't need to manage it. Somebody come to me for management, dude, we have the company. Boom, I have friends that's all they do. I just leverage them and we all make money together. I don't need to be the expert in that field. Same thing for designing. Don't ask me for no designs. I don't design any of my properties, right? But what I do is I leverage my network that have those expertise and we all make money. So I can go to people and say, hey, we have those services because we do. But guess what? I'm not Mamadou flying to the property and putting the furniture and then putting it. That's not my stuff, right? But if I just look at that, guess what? I will never be in that field because I am going off of what I know instead of leveraging my network of people that know things that I don't know. You come to me for credit repair. I'm not a credit repair guy, but guess what? I have friends that are. And I can leverage those people, right? So it's the same thing in everything, guys. But now, a lot of people start this business and they focus so much on being good on the phones. Like, I don't know how to talk to people. I want to learn how to cook. Guys, listen to me, man. Like, I promise you, marketing and branding is more important than sales. It's way supersedes sales. If people don't know you, nobody will bring you any opportunity. Like, people need to know you, and that start with your family. Like when I first started in real estate, I was talking about real estate so much in my household that like my brother knew, my nieces knew. As soon as my little nieces sees me, they go, you looking at a house today? I'm always talking about houses at the dinner table, on Facebook. I completely changed my social media. I started posting about what I'm doing even before I've done one deal, guys. Even before I have done one deal. And so now people in my community start reaching out to me for anything that has to do with real estate. Why? Because I keep talking about it. So I'm branding myself and I'm marketing before I even knew how to close a seller. Sales come on the third level when it comes to like, creating opportunities. Like sales is the last thing you want to worry about. Learn branding, that's number one. Second is marketing. Marketing yourself is always talking to people about what you do, what you're looking for, because you never know where your next referral is coming from. Then is sales. meaning now you learn how can I close them. The closing is I bring Hung, I hop on with Hung on the Zoom with my aunt and say, hey, auntie, this is my business partner. This is how we're going to do it. And then I let Hung explain how we're going to manage the property. I don't need to explain it, right? Hung, that's his expertise. Guys, I hope that makes sense. All right. So if you want your first Airbnb without owning the property, you don't have to buy it, without using your own credit, without using your own money, nothing. Just talk to people. That could be family, that could be neighbors, that could be people on Facebook Marketplace. Market yourself and brand yourself as a Airbnb or short-term rental manager, right? And those people, you'll be so surprised, people around you that actually own rentals that you never knew, or just have money laying there that you never knew. And so guess what? They'll start reaching out to you, asking you questions, and you go leverage the network that have those skills, and you partner up with them, and you guys split it 50-50 so that you can learn hands-on. And at some point you go ahead and start doing that by yourself. There's so many people crushing it in this space, just leveraging family and friends, guys. Is that kind of how it works, Hung?
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think when you first started, I think the thing with most people is that they feel like they don't know enough to get started, so they want to get to know everything. They think they need to know everything. And in all honesty, a lot of things that I have done, I didn't know everything. However, I was willing to implement as quickly as possible whenever I learned something new. And I tell people this all the time, like, your level of success is determined by the speed at which you implement new information.
Boom.
Like, you can learn something, but then you're like, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes, and then you've never done it. And then tomorrow it's like this magical, Neverland,
Yep.
right? That never approaches, because yesterday you said tomorrow. And trust me, I say this, and I've been in the same, boat as well, right? Like, and that's something that I've learned from just people that I've came across through my life experiences, all of them. I mean, I used to work for a guy, and he owns like an 8-figure a year company. He's a business consultant coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember distinctly when I finally met him in person at one of these conferences, and able to say hi and whatnot. I remember that he had promised me that he would do something for me, and then it hasn't gotten done yet, right? So when I met him in person, he's like, oh yeah, let me get someone on the team to do that right away. As he was standing there in front of me, he could have just said, yeah, I'll definitely get it done, when I sit down or get a chance. No, he took out his phone right then and there, and he texted someone, and he's like, done.
Boom.
Like, as I was standing there, he's like, yeah, let me do that right now. And he took out his phone, and he shot a quick message to someone on the team, and they handled it.
That's called execution, by the way, guys. Like, you have to be able to execute.
Exactly. And seeing it like that, and it still left an impression on me today. And that was 2 years ago when I first had that interaction. I still remember that till today, because of how powerful of an impact that really was for me. Like, he just did it right then and there. And that's really what's stopping a lot of people, is that they learn some new information that gets them excited. It's kind of like New Year's, right? Like, you got this really cool, amazing goal, and because you think you've said it out loud, you get, this, I don't know what's the chemical called, but like an endorphin, chemical reaction, and you feel accomplished, right? Like, that's a false feeling. Like, you haven't done anything. You've set an intention, but you haven't done anything. So you really have to implement what you learn as quickly as possible when it's hot and steamy, right? It's not like, if you have a significant other, You don't get hot and steamy right then and there, and then you're like, let's do it like 15 minutes from now. I guarantee you say that to your significant other, you're not getting any action tonight. it ain't happening. Okay. So you got to act on it when the idea is hot. That's what Jim Rohn says. You got to act on it when the idea is hot and in the moment. And that's been all of my breakthroughs that I've had throughout the years. Is that I've always took action as quickly as possible once I feel like it's something that I might be interested in. And most people, they let their daily routine get in the way of what's possible for them, because they say, I have to do X, Y, and Z today, right? Or 100%. I have to do I can't do that because of X. I can't do that because of Y. That's the universe testing you if you really want it or not, because something's always over the horizon once you've set an intention. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. And it's just testing you to see if you really want this thing or not, or you're just saying that, right?
Yeah.
And nobody knows what I'm talking about.
To be honest, people, a lot of people make, how do you call it, New Year goals, and they give up before the 17th or the 21st of January. Like, they completely give up on it. Don't act upon it. Is overthinking, is some people is just, just laziness, right? If you're not sick and tired of being sick and tired, there's no way you can take action. You have to be sick and tired of being sick and tired of whatever situation you're in. Or if you're complacent, then that's a different story. Then you just need to stop complaining. The reality is, the more I, do this business, the more I learn. All it takes, it doesn't take money, it doesn't take sales skills, nothing. All it takes is network. So it's talking to people all day long. Talking to people is, when you're talking to people, you're doing 3 things at the same time without even realizing it. Talking to people all day is, you're branding yourself, you're marketing yourself. When I say talking to people, I'm not talking about your friends that always call you to go hang out on Saturday. I'm talking about people that are doing what you want to do, that are at a space where you want to be, that are doing the business that you want to get into. So you're networking with people that can pull you up, not down. And so if you want to get into short-term rental, is like, ask yourself, how many friends do I have that are experts in this field that I talk to daily? If you don't, then are you truly serious about getting into it? And how many people actually know that I want to be a short-term rental investor? Like, how many people actually know that? And ask yourself that question in your circle. How many people, like, if I walk into your household right now, do they actually know? When I say no, is like, they know you're serious about this because you're so obsessed about it, because that's all you talk about. And every time you're going out, they know you're going to a short-term rental, Airbnb, networking event. You're not going out to hang out and have a drink with friends. That's the type of obsession I'm talking about, right? Until you have that, like, all it takes is talk. It doesn't take money. It doesn't take sales skills. All it takes is talking to people. And then after that is just the action. Honestly, guys, it's just the action. You need absolutely zero money, but you do need to be resourceful. You cannot do it without the network. Your network is everything, because through your network, you can get these properties without any of your own money. People will lend you the money. You can get it without any of your own credit. People will literally lend you their credit. People will lend you their credibility. And if you build your network and add value to people, people will lend you their experience too. When you leverage somebody else's experience in the field, they're lending you their experience. That's what they're doing. And if you're like most people are hands-on learners. Like, they don't just want to like sit down and consume. That's not how they retain information. They retain information through monkey see, monkey do. Like, I want to do it. So, I want to start with my first Airbnb arbitrage. Let me get into it, partner up with somebody that has already done 1, 2, or 3 deals before me. And then I learn through that process with that person on that first deal. Now I have the skills to take that and go and replicate and do it myself. Hands-on learning. As far as getting the deal, all you need is talk to people. And that's really not difficult to do. The problem is you get on your own way because you're like, who would believe me? You start like, guys, one of the most powerful things you can do daily is to tell your mind to shut up. Every time it feeds you something negative, tell it, like you want to say it out loud, like tell yourself, shut up, and I'm gonna do this. Pick up the phone, go on Facebook, network with people, download the Meetup app. Make sure you go to every single network, every single Meetup event around you that is about this business you want to get into, and network with people that are 1 chapter, 2 chapter, 3 chapters ahead of you so they can help you get into it. Right? But like Hung says, it's all about the execution. You can write your goals all day long. You can have the intention all day long until you put action into it. Like nobody cares about your fancy website, your fancy business card, your fancy Facebook. Like nobody cares about it. It's like, are you talking to people? Are you branding and marketing yourself as an expert in that field, even though you're not an expert yet, but you have expert friends. So by default, you are an expert because you have those people around you that can help you, execute. So guys, I would say one of the most powerful things that I've learned through my real estate journey and still learning is that your network is everything. That's all I need is people. I can never be broke again because of people. Never again. Because of what? Because of people, not because of my skills. Because of people. That's all you need. So if you're a shy person, I'm telling you right now, slap yourself in the face and get out of it. I'm telling you, like you're going nowhere. So before we wrap it up here, I think they got the point, guys. If you want to get your first SDR the fastest way possible, talk to people closer to you. Let them know this is what you do. You do manage the properties. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily have to be where you rent it from them. And then, like, sometimes if they're like, hey, I don't want you to just rent my property and then you make all the Airbnb money. Guys, if it's your first deal, it's okay to split the pie. 50% of something is better than 100% of nothing.
Yes, sir.
You are taking the risk. You are bringing, the expertise. Maybe take 60%, 70% and give them 30%. They're bringing the property. You don't have to buy it. They're already qualified for it. So you leveraging their credit. What do you have to lose? Your return, guys, on investment is infinite because you have zero skin in the game. So why why would I do that? Why would I? Like, you have nothing anyway. And that's where also a lot of people get stuck, is because they want everything, but they haven't deserved to get everything yet. So you got to start somewhere. So just talk to people around you. Let them know this is what you're trying to do. Do they know somebody? Do they know somebody that knows somebody at their work, at home, whatever? Guys, I'm telling you guys, like, the way I got my first deal is by talking to people that were jumping in my Uber car, and I would tell them I'm in real estate. Do you guys know how funny that is? Somebody jump into your Uber, you're driving them around, and they might give you a tip of $10, $5 if you're lucky, and you're telling them that you're a real estate investor. I used to feel so awkward, but I had to pump myself up and believe at what I'm saying, and then record my journey. So I was branding, guys. Again, go back to branding. I was branding myself. So when you get in my car as an Uber and Lyft driver, you're not just getting into any other Uber and Lyft driver. This was Mamadou, the real estate investor and Uber driver. It's different. You got to be respectful in my car because I may be your landlord. You never know. Right? That's how I kind of look at it. So it built up my confidence. So when you get in my car, I made sure you have to know I'm in real estate. And how I did that, because people always need credibility and proof, is I would record everything. When I'm driving for dollars, I would record myself on my phone. When I'm walking the property, I would record myself. Everything, guys. And so when I'm talking to them, I'm showing them on the phone. You see that? You see that? I was walking this property yesterday, blah, blah, blah. My goal at the end of it was to tell them, hey, do you know anybody, or do you know any property that is vacant? That's it. So I was branding myself. So people will literally take my number. If I know anybody, I'll text you or call you. I was branding myself in my car. And that's how I got my first deal, by the way, guys. That's how I got my first real estate deal. Okay, so talk to people, man. Today, I just bought a property in Atlanta with zero money, zero credit, 7 bedroom, three and a half, 4 bathroom. Guys, it came through a family referral. It came through a family referral because I've branded myself so much. I've talked about it so much that now I am known as Mamadou from Guinea that does real estate in my culture, in my family, or whatever. So if they need something, they reach out to me. All right. So bottom line is talk to people, guys. Again, if you're new into this channel, I'm going to remind you, please leave a comment. Let us know your takeaway. Hit the notification bell, hit that like button, and leave a comment and smash the notification bell, guys. Hung, last word for these folks before we get out of here.
Last words. I would say if you're interested, like if this made you feel any bubbly kind of way that you want to try something like this, start writing down all the names of the people that you know that are, that owns property, that are in your circle of influence. That might be your friend, that might be your parents, that might be your aunts or uncles, it might be your friends' parents, right? Like I could keep going on, but write it down and then start making like calls today. Like take the action. And here's what I would say, instead of just saying take action, right? Here's what I would say is I would call them up. It's like, hey, name, it's Hung, how's it going? Keep it short, go straight to the point, right? Hey, X, Y, and Z, how's it going? Oh, it's great. Okay, awesome. So just really quick, the reason for my call today is that I'm actually looking at a couple of properties, looking for a couple of properties to do corporate leasing with a partner of mine. And we have, over 15 properties across 6 states. That is building rapport right there, building rapport and building trust right there. And we're actually looking for a couple more. Do you happen to know anyone that would, that has properties that are available coming up? And then you just be quiet and you just let people talk. And you do that, 5-10 times today. And I promise you, out of those calls, something will happen. You don't need all 10 to be good. Like it might not be anything today, but if you do, I promise you, if you do it again tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow, like something good is gonna happen.
Bro, here's a gift for whoever take action on this. Whether you're watching this right now or you're watching it in the future, here's a gift for you. If you're willing to take action and make the actual calls to friends, family, neighbors, strangers, doesn't matter. You want to get into this and you just want to make the calls, but you feel like you don't have the money and credibility. Hung and I, we will provide you the credibility. That's what he mean here. You will reach out to me or Hung in our DMs. You say, hey, I just talked to somebody and they might have a rental, but they want to see all these 15 or 20 properties me and my partners were managing. We will send you everything. We'll send you the property addresses, the pictures, we'll send you the HUDs on those properties, and we'll literally send an email to the person as your business partners. That's credibility right there. If you're an action taker and you take the action, whether it be now or you're just watching this video in the future, reach out and we will send the email with all the properties that we own. We'll send the HUDs. If you don't know what a HUD is that receipt that prove that we actually own the property. So this is not just a blah, blah, blah talk and we're not doing deals. We're actually doing deals. So we'll send that over to you and we will email the person directly confirming that we are your business partner. All right? Only if you're an action taker. I promise you, if you do it, that is a gift that we're going to give you. You can reach out. So those 15 properties, don't feel, oh, well, I don't have it. Yes, you do, because you can leverage us. You even have more than 15 because me and Hung combined, we're probably over 30 properties, 100%. All right. So, bro, that was it. That was. I think that's a dope gift.
Yeah, for sure. And to be honest, this might come back and bite us later when this channel gets bigger. But hey, whatever.
No, we'll give it, bro. Why won't we give it? We'll give it to action takers, bro. Pace Marby, our teacher, he does it how many days a week?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
So
just shoot
at
us
the end of the
an
day,
email.
guys, yeah, at the end of the days, guys, not only will send it, but at the end of the day, the goal is to do deals with people. So action takers will be people we do deals with. All right. So it's a no-brainer. So anyway, if you're watching this in the future, I promise you, if you're an action taker, just reach out. If you just need credibility, be happy to help you out with that. All right. So with that being said, guys, again, please make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment, let us know your takeaway on this episode. What did you like? But most importantly, what I want to know is what didn't you like? What you want to hear more of late, next Tuesday, guys. All right. So make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss out. We'll go this year every single Tuesday, 12 p.m. EST, and drop gems on you as far as short-term rental is concerned. Now, guys, we don't just talk about how you can get your first deal. We'll actually underwrite your deals if you show up here with deals to be underwritten. Okay, we'll give you resources that you need, right? We're gonna have giveaways. Literally, me, my team, and I, we can also call your sellers if you show up here, you have a seller that is motivated. You just need somebody to call them and talk to them, move the ball forward. We'll do that for you. So it's not just that. Just show up here with your questions every single Tuesday, 12 p.m. EST, and we'll be happy to answer it. And if you miss out, then just leave a comment with the questions, and I promise my team and I will go there and answer them for you as well. All right. So, and make sure you follow Hung Mai on his Instagram is Hung V Mai, right, Hung?
Yes, sir.
Hung
V Mai, HUNG, V as in Victor, M as in Mary, AI.
AI. Boom.
Oh, I just crossed 2,000 followers. So yeah, that was really cool.
We're on IG?
Yeah.
That's awesome, bro. So guys, make sure you give him a follow, and you can reach out to me on IG as well at Real Estate Diallo. And we'll see you next Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. EST. And we're out. Boom.